Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Om Agnatimirandhasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Dapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye. Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhye Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakti Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Hare Krishna, I welcome all of you to today's Essentials of Vedanta Sutras. So how are you?
Fine Prabhuji.
Yes.
One lesson late.
Huh?
One lesson late.
One lesson late.
I missed one lesson, one class.
Okay.
And you?
I am fine. my marathon is going on. Every day 5 hours. Even Saturday, Sunday also. So lucky I am. So Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Whole day, morning, evening, afternoon. Preparing and teaching. Now till now Bhakti Vedanta marathon went on. So from March 15 to ending of almost all April. So then now Bhakti Vaibhava marathon is going on. So every day Bhakti Vaibhava. Saturday, Sunday also we have classes. Today also we are doing 5th canto. And also, yeah, many different subjects. Yeah. Okay. Hello, let's continue our discussion. What I told in today's class, I am going to discuss Purva-Pakshi's view. So one Purva-Pakshi is coming. Just all of a sudden they are coming. They are not the main Purvapaksha for this Adhikarana, just inside, while explaining this Shastra-Yunitvat, so in between they are coming. So whatever we discussed in yesterday's class, based upon that, we understood that we refuted the Purvapakshi, so Mantavyaha, that, and also Gautama's. So Gautama, Purvapakshi was saying what? Gautama accepted that. So Sushka Tarka, by using the Tarka also one can know, one can understand about the, understand Supreme Lord. But this is not possible. This is not possible. So because Srutesu Shabda Moolatva, this is a sutra is composed. What is this sutra is saying? Srutesu Shabda Moolatva. This sutra is saying that Shabda is the Moola for all the Pramanas. And what Jaimini is saying? Jaimini is saying that Tarka is the superior. By the Tarka also you can realize the Supreme Lord. But what Acharya is saying, Vedavyas is saying that Shabda Moolatvat. Shabda is the root for all the Pramanas. So that's why Gautama's view is rejected by the sutra. Shrutes to Shabda Moolatvat. You have to especially focus on Shabda Moolatvam. That means Shabda is the Moola. Moola for what? Moola for all the Pramanas. Pratyaksha and Anumana. Yes or no? How Shabda is a Moola for Pratyaksha and Anumana? Very detailedly we discussed in Tattva Sandarbha. Who is there here? Tattva Sandarbha student. Ram Charan Prabhu. I definitely assure that he will not remember even a single line. But no problem. This is expected actually. You should expect like that and teach. Then you'll be happy. If you expect something more then you'll get disappointment. Expectation is the cause for the pain actually. So there Pratyaksha and Anumana are like servants and Shabda is like a king. So king can overrule the orders of, can overrule the whatever the others they say. And also king is the cause for existence of others. And king is like this many features, like a king and servant, using this relationship. So we established the Shabda is the Moola. Moola means is ultimately it is correcting Pratyaksha and Anumana Pramanas also. So whatever we see, can we say everything is correct? Whatever we see, that means whatever we sense, that means through Pratyaksha Pramana, whatever we get the knowledge. So can we say that is always perfect? It's not. It's not. Then
No, Prabhuji.
who can correct the Shabda? Now who can correct the Pratyaksha Pramana? Shabda corrects the even the views of Pratyaksha. This is there are many points are discussed. We can hear Tattva Sandarbha lectures because it cannot be discussed now. It takes a lot of time actually, hours and hours. This we cannot. That means how the Shabda is the root Pramana for the Pratyaksha and Anumana. It is very much important. being a spiritualist, being a follower of the Vedas, one should know this. Why Shabda is the origin. But unfortunately, I cannot repeat here actually. It's also not so easy to explain also. That's it. Ragno Brutyanamiva Teneva Anyesham Baddhamodatva Tasya tu Nairapeksham. Anyway, leave. Ramchandra, do you remember? Shabda is the moola for Pratyaksha and Anumana Pramanas.
Yes, Prabhu, like some of the points I have document which I can refer.
Acha, you share with our students and he will take some special class for all of you. You want to teach to
I can share here. I can share a billboard pictures, Prabhu, that what you're drawing on that. That's Sundar.
You have opportunity. You want to teach, you can teach. Teach to the at least 6 students you can get easily. 5 students. Yes. Namruj Prabhu is also interested. Can practice. Because generally you don't get audience for that kind of subject matter. So, but we can get now here.
I just put some of those things that you put it in. That's Sandharva, like why non-different Shabda is the king.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll further continue. So that in this Adhikarana, 2 Purvapakshis were there. Mantavya word and also Gautama's views. Mantavya word, how we dealt, that we all know. So Shushka Tarka we should not use. Their Mantavya word is not referring to the Shushka Tarka, but it is referring to Shastra Yukta Yukti. That means so Shastra Yukta Yukti means inference is getting the input from the Shastra. It's not functioning independently, or it's not functioning based upon the defective knowledge. So that is a point we discussed that also. Now, if you see in the Moola, Ittamcha Harehe Atmamurtitvam Anubhutehe Anubhavitrutvam Swatma Dharmadishtana Shalitvam Jagat Kartrutva Nirvikaratvam Cha Ityadi Shriyamana Rupataya Tasyopasanam Siddhyati. I will show you our file. Please. ये कैसा आ रहा है? Where we are in this.
Previous page, Prabhu, previous page.
Here. From here onwards, we have to. This also proves the Savior Hari. If you want to open the Moola also, we can open that. 1 second, let me open that also. Where is that? Just, from here. We should read from here. Ettam cha harehe atmamurtitvam anubhutehe anubhavitritvam swatmaka dharmadhisthana shalitvam jagatkartru nirvikaratvam cha iti adi ityadi shruyamana rupataya tasyopasanam siddhyati. So what is Sanskrit for this? This English translation is here. This also proves Siddhyati. This also proves that Savior Hari. Do you know what it means? Shastrayonitvat means what? So scriptures are the cause to understand Supreme Lord. This is the meaning of Shastrayonitvam. What it means? It means this is the meaning actually. This also proves that the Savior Hari has the form of the self and he is witness of all experiences of all souls, that he possesses all good attributes which form his essential nature, that he is without modification at the creator of the universe, and that he should be worshipped in this way. Ultimately, Shastras, what they are saying? They are describing the law. Shastrayonitva means scriptures are the main. Scriptures are the cause to understand Supreme Lord. That means scriptures are cause. That means they describe about Supreme Lord. So his characteristics. And also they say, so one should worship him. So that is the point. If scriptures are the cause to understand the Supreme Lord means what it means. It means, so they are describing the Lord Hari as the form, self, that he is witness of all experiences of all souls, that he possesses all good attributes, which from his essential nature, that he is without modification yet, the creator of the universe, and that he should be worshipped in this way. So one should worship. So in this way means we should understand Hari in this, is having these qualities, and we should worship. Okay. This is over. Till here. Tasyopasanam siddhyati. So that means what we are saying, scriptures are telling about the greatness, the various magnanimous qualities of the Lord. And yes, by hearing all these good qualities, what you will do? you start worshipping. Yes or no? If you, in the society, someone is a big player, if you hear about him, you start loving him or not? You start worshipping someone. So someone is a rich man, you may start respecting and loving him. If you heard about someone is very much a social service is doing, such a compassion is having. So whenever you hear their qualities, so after that, what you'll do? You'll worship them. It's obvious nature. In the material world also happens same thing. So Aishwaryasya samagrasya viryasya yashashriyoho jnana vairagyayoschapi sharnam bhaga iti. Whoever is having, that means some power, strength, beauty, intelligence, and knowledge, so many renouncement. So if you hear some portions of these qualities in some person, then you start worshipping him. But scriptures are saying Hari is having all these 6 appearances in full extent. So that's why just by hearing those descriptions, what you will do? You will be starting worshipping him. So tasya upasanam siddhyati. Because scriptures are making you to understand the supreme law. That is leading to what? Tasya upasanam, worshipping of him. Okay, next from here onwards, from tatraha, from here onwards, Purvapakshi is coming. Objection. What is that objection? Now from here onwards, we'll be seeing the one intermediate objection. It's not the objection for adhikarana. Tatra aha nakalu tavad vedanta vakya ganaha prayoga yogyah siddhartha bodhakatvena prayojana shunyatvat prayoga yogyah saptadeepa vasudha vasundara ityadi vakyavat. What is the main point? Purvapakshi is saying, tad tavad vedanta vakya ganaha tatra aha nakalu tavad vedanta vakya ganaha prayoga yogyah. There is no usability of the Vedanta Vakyas because they are describing about the existing object. So that's why there is no use of those Vedanta Vakyas. Example, Saptadeepa Vasundhara. This Earth planet, Bhumandala, is having seven islands. So 7 islands. So then by hearing this, what will you get? Nothing. No action. There is no use of this kind of sentences. So like this Purvapakshi is saying. Try to understand. This is a very new point, I think. Most of the people may not know this. What is the logic he is explaining here? Because my voice is audible.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Where is the English? From where? So here. Objection. An objector may say, how can it be said that scriptures is the means to know the Brahman? The Vedanta texts are not. The Vedanta texts are not capable of being employed as commands and prohibitions because they teach something which is already in existence and therefore they are of no use. They are something like mere descriptive passages of the Vedas or other subjects such as the sentences. The world consists of the 7 continents. At least one point if I make, you are all able to understand and success this point. वो बहुत रात में कमजोर हो रहे हैं बॉडी ये रॉन्ग टाइम दिस इज वेदांत के लिए नॉट द राइट टाइम एनर्जी नहीं रहा मैं यानिंग करते थे सब आप लोगों को भी नींद आई but your time is little different na so maybe I'm in mode of ignorance you are somewhere in mode of goodness time
For us is the morning time, bro.
morning what time bro
Mine is 11. Now, Ruchi, too is
11
10
very
o'clock.
good time is Rajoguna you are Rajoguna time that is you are not Rajoguna but that time is in Rajoguna and these Middle East na they remaining
6 p.m. 6 and 7
yes, okay it's Sandhya time actually Ramakrishna you are also same
In your presence, everything becomes auspicious and Shuddha Sattva, Prabhu.
you are all and this Bangladesh devotee I think his name he is even more I think it's 10 o'clock for him 9 o'clock okay. यजेता स्वर्ग कामः अच्छा इंग्लिश में है ना हम लोग इंग्लिश में लिखना है यजेता स्वर्ग कामः what is the meaning of this a person who desires heaven should worship or should perform yajna. This is injective statement. Injective statement. Statements can be many types. Descriptive statements, injective statements, and prohibitive statements. Prohibiting statements are available. Here, yajeta word is having the meaning of should perform. The meaning of yajeta is should perform. Point chota kare. Jaimini says Jaimini's view is what? Any statement which contains this kind of injective words, those statements only I consider. Those statements only useful. All other statements are useless. What is the point? Jaimini's view. In Vedas, those statements which contains injective words, or otherwise those statements which are injective or prohibitive, those statements only I consider. I consider means I consider those as useful. All other statements which are descriptive statements are useless. Okay. This is the view of Jaimini. What is Jaimini's main desire? He wants to see everyone should perform work, karma. He doesn't want to see anyone sitting idle. मैं भजन करूंगा करके भोजन नहीं करना. Work hard. Do work. This is the message he wants to pass. And that's why to make the people engaged, whoever is studying Vedas and he is interpreting Vedas such a way, you should consider in those Vedas only injective and prohibitive statements. And you should consider everything. So commands and prohibitions. He said injective instead of injectives. In this file he wrote commands and prohibitions. But what is the objection is here from the Purvapakshi? Here Purvapakshi is nothing but Jaimini and his followers. So what is the objection here? There are this in Vedas, statements are there. Statements in the Vedas, statements which describe Lord and his qualities. So these statements are only descriptive statements. They are not the commands or they are not the prohibitions. Like example, so Lord is so beautiful. Lord is Sarvagnaha, Anantaha, Satyam Gnanam Anantam Brahma. So Brahman is Satyam. Example is Brahman is Satyam. Satyam Gnanam Anantam Brahma. You take this. That means Brahman is eternal, full of knowledge and unlimited. This is the example of descriptive state. Jaimini, what he says? What is the use of this statement? So foolishness. These are all useless junk material in the Vedas. If this is a Veda, if you consider these are the Vedas, in this kind of descriptive statements about the Ishvara are not commands or otherwise prohibitions. So leave those. You take it as a garbage and send it out. You consider only those are commands. Those statements are commands or prohibitions. Example is Yajeta Sarga Kamaha. Hey, Devadatta, if you desire heaven, do yajna. That means they are commanding. This statement is commanding you. It is engaging you in the action. So that's why this is useful. And this Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma is useless. It's a useless. Prayoga Yogya. That means, what do we said? Shastra Yonitvat, you said. That means Shastra is the cause to understand the Supreme Lord. That means Shastra is describing the Supreme Lord. That means you are accepting the statements which are descriptive. So that means they are describing about the object which is already existing. That means they are describing the objects which are existing. So usse kya karna hai? What is the use of those kind of statements? It was simply useless. Why? That means they are attacking on the meaning of Shastra Yonitvam. Understood? So who will repeat this? I want someone to repeat. Raise the hand first. Electronic hand is not there because I'm not able to see.
Sorry, Prabhuji. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. Carry on. Ladies are first.
Prabhuji, so in the intermediate Purva Pakshi, he's saying that you're saying Shastras are the cause for knowing Brahman, Ishvara, but he's saying what is the use of descriptive statements? Because according to Gemini, who is the Purva Pakshi here, he says that you should perform karma, work, statements like Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, just descriptive words are of no use. Something like Yajeta, you're saying Swarga, Yajeta Swarga Kamaha, you should perform sacrifice because if you desire to go to Swarga, so there should be a work element. Like if you don't do any work, everything is useless then. So anything descriptive in Vedas, it is of no use. Is that correct?
Any statements? What you said? Any statements?
No, the descriptive statements, like describing Lord's qualities or something like this.
Descriptive statements. That means any statements which are describing the existing object are no use. Because Jaimini is seeing only those statements which are invoking you into action. Example, Ejeta Swarga Kama. It is a command. The statement is a command. Ejeta means you should do. Yajna, to, if you desire for Swarga Kama. That means it is a command. So that means he is accepting the commands or otherwise prohibitions. Not to do, should not do, should do. And those are really worthful statements in the Vedas. And according to the Gemini, other statements, all which are describing the existing objects, is no use. Example is also given here, one more. What is that? Saptadvipa Vasundhara. What is the meaning of this? So Vasundhara means Bhumandala. In Bhumandala, how many islands are there?
7 islands.
7 islands. So Bhumandala is having 7 islands. Is 7 islands. So by hearing what is there, what you can get? According to Gemini, it's no use this kind of statement. So that's why finally they are attacking. Shastra Yonitvam is, what is this? This sutra. Hey, Vyasdev, what you made? Gemini and Vyasdev, they can sit in front of each other. What you are saying? Shastra is the cause to understand Supreme Lord. What is understanding? Understanding of Supreme Lord itself is a no use. It's not invoking. That means Shastra is that means Vasudev is following the descriptive statements, which describe this which Lord. Those statements he is considering. And Jaimini is saying, अरे भगवान है तो उनके बारे में वर्णन है. Sorry, Lord is there and these statements are describing is then what? What is the use? There is no action, no command in this. So this sutra is not useful. It's a useless sutra you made. We don't want. Okay. This is the view of Jaimini. Yes, Ramakrishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. It's very nicely expressed. So we try to understand from the beginning of the Shastra01, wherein the statement said that through the Shastras one can actually understand Brahman. And the aspect to substantiate this was referred with the Brahma Sutra, Sutreshu Shabdamulatvat. And
Srutistu Shabdamulatvat.
sorry, Suteshu Shabdamulatvat.
Srutistu Shabdamulatvat.
Srutistu, okay. Srutistu Shabdamulatvat was explained.
Srutestu, sorry. Sruteshu Shabdamulatvat. Srute tu Shabdamulatvat. Srutestu Shabdamulatvat.
Okay. Yes, Prabhuji. So this was presented by the Siddhanta Paksha, and it came to the extent of saying that gradually knowing through this Vedic wisdom, one develops the natural inclination to Tasyopasanam Siddhyati. So automatically he would end up by worshipping the Supreme Lord. So immediately the Purva Paksha Jaimini has taken an objection. How is this? Because he is a person who's propagating that there should be action, then there should be injunctions, and there should be prohibitions. Only through such statements one can actually perceive the Brahman, whereas the descriptive statements
perceive Brahman is not, his interest is not at all there. Perceive Brahman you should not add. So his point is, so those statements only I construct. Perceive Brahman, if you say, then there is a big problem. That means you are accepting Jaimini is also accepting Brahman. You should
okay,
not
so
that. Yeah.
So the purpose of Jaimini contending this statement by saying that it should have the Vedanta Vakya Ganaha Prayoga Yogyaha. So what does he finally want to accept when he says that other words, Siddhartha Bodhaktvena Prayojana Shunyatvat, and so he does not take up these, he does not support the statements which are descriptive, but he wants to take up only the statements which are only injective and prohibitive. So those are the statements which he values. And so he says, like giving the proof of Ejeta Sarga Kamaha is the kind of a statement which is very, very clear and talking as the goal and the object, both are very clearly described. Whereas Satyam Gnanam Atma Anantam Brahma is a descriptive aspect of that Brahman, and it does not give us any direct perception, or not direct perception. It does not give us an injunction to attain our goal. So that should be rejected. That's the kind of a argument that he is presenting. But I want to understand, by such an argument, what does Jaimini want to actually promote? If the Brahman is not the goal, then what is his goal?
Brahman is not the goal, is not the point at all. That point he is not bringing. He is simply
only talking about the Shastras.
He is telling that why you made this sutra.
Oh, okay. Now I got it.
Why so you made Shastra Unitvat. That means Shastra is the cause to understand the Supreme Lord. What is this? Supreme Lord is existing thing. And it is describing. Like according to him, Supreme Lord is also one of the Devata. Like Indra, Chandra, like Vishnu is also Devata. So you may say Supreme Lord, but he says he's a Devata, and some statements describing about that Devata, what do we get? Unless if some command is not there in that sentence, and only there are some descriptions about the some Devata, why I have to give importance for that kind of descriptive statements? Because you are saying that Shastra Yonitva means, so Shastra, scriptures are the comprised of descriptive statements about the Supreme Lord. You are saying that actually. Then he is saying that So what is use? In the previous Purvapakshi, what is the original Purvapakshi, what is saying? He's saying that by Tarka I can understand Supreme Lord. That you defeated already. Tarka and I can understand the Supreme Lord. But now here, Jamin is attacking in another way. Descriptive statements I don't believe at all. I don't have any. That means according to my opinion, they are useless. Artha Sunyatva means useless.
So in this whole process of understanding the sutras, and then they are being contested by the Purva Pakshi, have different kinds of impacts. May not be the original sutra that is there attacking, but the subsequent statements which are being derived, they are also attacking those.
Yes, yes. Prayojana Sunyatva. That means all the Vedanta Vakya Ganaha, that means all the clusters are the chunks of the Vedanta Vakyas, whatever are there, like Ishopanishad, like Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Kena Upanishad, Svedasha Upanishad. These are the Ganas, clusters are the groups of the Vedanta Vakyas. They are all Vedanta Vakya Ganaha Prayoga Yogya Siddhartha Bodhakatvena Prayojana Shunyatvat. That means there is no use, there is no benefit or no use of these kind of Vedanta, Vakyas, sentences.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, you referred to the Vedanta Vakya Gana, which is Prayoga Yogya, such as Ishopanishad, and which others, Prabhu?
All Upanishads. Ishopanishad, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, that Upanishad, all Upanishads. Vedanta means all Upanishads. So you are referring that this Vedanta Ganas, which are basically the Upanishads, they are Prayoga Yogya, or if there are injective statements in them. Yogya means they are describing about the existing object. Siddhartha Bodhakatvena. Siddhartha means existing object. So Bodhakatvena, that means they are describing the existing object. So that's why they are useless. According to the Jaimini.
Then what is the aspect of when he says Prayoga Yogya? In the
Prayoga Yogya means their usability is what? Describing the existing object. And ultimately they are useless.
Okay, so I mistook it the other way. I thought that Vedanta Vakya Gana, which has the injective statements, are useful, and those who are only descriptive, Bodhaktvena and Artha Bodhaktvena, that's what is referred to, are Shunyatva. It doesn't have. So my understanding should be corrected now. Okay.
So Vedanta Ganas, Vedanta Vakyas, they are just describing the existing object, that is nothing but Supreme Lord, whatever. So they are useless. So why they are useless? According to him, because according to him, say useful statements means they should be commands or prohibitions, or injunctions are the prohibitions. Okay, next. Pravrutti Nivrutti Rupa Sadhyartha Bodhakani Vakyani Prayojana Vatvat Prayoga Yogyani Drishtani. Read the next line, actually, next English line. Easily get from there. The world consists of the 7 continents. Only those passages of the Vedas are relevant which direct something to be done or something not to be done. Pravritti, Nivrutti, Rupa, Sadhya, Artha, Bodhakani, Vakyani, Prayojanavatvat, Prayoga Yogyani, Drishtani. According to him, which statements are useful? Those statements which direct something to be done or something not to be done. Pravrutti Nivrutti means invoking or restraining. inspiring or restraining. Pravritti means inspiring. That means inspiring you to do. And nivritti means ceasing or not stopping. So pravritti nivritti rupa sadhyartha bodhakani. That means by hearing that statement, so the meaning of that statement, what will happen? There is some pravritti in you. Means some action. And or otherwise they should stop you, or they invoke you to do something. That's why he wrote how he wrote. So only those passages of Vedas, that means if you take the total Vedas, in that Vedas, so these statements which direct something to be done or something not to be done. And those statements in the Vedas are useful. But Vedanta Vakyas are useless. Like this. This total Vedas, in this, like you see, this much portion is Vedanta. All these 108 Upanishads, major Upanishads, you can consider here are there. So Kena Upanishad, this Upanishad, that Upanishad, all Upanishads are here. So these Upanishads are descriptive statements. So that's why they are having no use of these sutras, sorry, these statements, Vedanta statements. But in the Vedas, it's remaining is Veda. In this Vedas, those statements which direct, so something to be done or something not to be done. They are useful. Example is given here. In this book, example is given. Ardhalipsur nrupam gachet mandagnihi na jalam pibet iti loke. He gave that means here Baldev Devbhushan gave, so examples for the prohibition and or command and prohibitions. He gave examples for command and prohibitions from general day-to-day life, and also day-to-day life, and also from Vedas. These examples for what? Commands and prohibitions. So see, first one is what? Ardhalipsur nrupam gachet. What is the meaning of this? Ardhalipsur nrupam gachet means let a man desiring wealth go to the king. This statement, what is saying? If anyone is desiring wealth, so gachet means should go. He should go to the king. So that's why, according to Jaimini, this is a useful statement. Like Ejayata Sargkamah, like this is, if you desire wealth, you should go to the king. Then immediately that person will go to the king because he is desiring. Next, prohibition. We are seeing this is the example for injunction or otherwise command. This let a man from day-to-day life we are seeing. Next, let a man suffering from, what is that? Dyspepsia. What is this dyspepsia? Mandagni, that means indigestion. Mandagni means indigestion. So dyspepsia means indigestion. So let a man suffering from dyspepsia not drink water at the time of ending. So that means whose Jataragni is not so strong. So those people should not drink water at the end of eating. if they drink the eating, and or otherwise if you eat too much salad, or otherwise sometimes you eat watermelon with the food, some fruits with the food, and your digestion fire is not so strong, then what will, nothing will be digested, and you'll be tomorrow getting all the bad smell from the mouth, indigestion smell. So that's what. So the whoever is having the less Jataragni, they should not drink water. They should not drink water. This is also example for prohibition from day-to-day life. Now we'll see similarly in the Vedas we find commands and prohibitions, such as, what are those? Example. Sarga kamo yajeta. Let a man who desires heaven perform sacrifice. This is command. Let a man know, should, actually you can use should in the place of let also here. Next, prohibition from Vedas, let no man drink wine. Shastra is saying that. What it is saying? Suram na pibe, na pibeta iti vedecha. That means liquor should not be drunk. Or otherwise, one should not drink liquor or wine. Suram. Okay, you have seen the view of Jaimini. Nahi. Next Sanskrit. You can see Sanskrit also if you want. This is next. Nahi prayojanam anuddhisya vakya prayogah sambhavati. Nahi prayojanam anuddhisya vakya prayogam sambhavati. Tacha pravrutti nivrutti sadhyeshtapti pariharatmakam avagatam. So what is saying here? See the English. So what he is saying next? You see. So in fact, no one employs speech without any object in view. माने बिना मतलब, बिना यूज, बिना बेनिफिट नहीं, प्रयोजनम उद्देश्य वाक्य प्रयोगः संभवति. Without any purpose, anyone utter any sentence? No. That means according to Jaimini, if anyone is uttering any sentence, means there should be some purpose, some prayojan. There should be some benefit, some gain, some benefit. But what is saying next? But next, and that object. And what is saying next? और क्या बंद करना? क्या बोल रहे हैं? Okay. So what is said here? In fact, no one employs speech without any object in view. And that object is either something to be attained by doing an act, or which is to be avoided by abstaining from an act. And he is also defining. That means without purpose, sentences will not be uttered. Or sentences, will not be uttered. Sentences are uttered means there should be some prayojana. That means some benefit. What is that benefit also is saying? There should be some benefit. What is that? Pravritti nivritti bodhakata virahepi. No. What is that? Tacha pravritti nivritti sadhyeshtapti pariharatmakam avagatam. So, what is saying? So, that object is either something to be attained by doing an act, or which is to be avoided by abstaining from an act. So what is saying? He is saying that prayojanam means what he is saying. Prayojanam, without prayojanam, what is the best word for English? Best word you can use. Prayojanam means, some purpose, you can say. Without purpose, there is no use of, there is no utterance of sentences. Prayojanam means some object or goal. It means without object, no sentence. No sentence is uttered or mentioned, whatever. So then what is prayojanam? Tell me. What is object otherwise? Prayojanam or object? So then you'll ask, what is the meaning of object? Tacha, that means what? Object means what you should understand according to Jaimini. He's saying that object means pravritti nivritti sadhya ishtapatti sadhyeshtapatti pariharatmakam avagatam. So what is the meaning of object? Object means, prayojanam means, he is giving clearly that an object is either something to be attained. Apti means attain. Something to be attained by doing an act, or which is to be avoided. That object is what? Is either something to be attained by doing an act, or which is to be avoided by abstaining from act. So you, in the place of object, you keep, in place of object, you keep prayojanam. So that object means that prayojanam. Tatcha means prayojanam. Is what? Prayojanam is either something to be attained by doing an act, or which is to be avoided, or something is to be avoided by abstaining from an act. This is the prayojana actually, according to him. That's why he gave examples like Swarga, Ejeta Swarga Kamaha. So here what? Ishta. Ishta is what? Swarga, heaven. So one should doing the yajna. Someone is doing yajna. So to get the desired thing, what is that? That is heaven. Then this is prayojana. That means getting something by doing some action. Getting something means getting desirable thing through the by doing the action, or otherwise. So rejecting, getting parihara means rejecting something. So rejecting something by doing which is not desirable, by doing some action. Action is needed in both. So which is to be avoided by abstaining from an act. Which is to be avoided by abstaining from an act. So actually, sorry, here abstaining from act means parihara. That means pariharatmakam. Pariharatmakam means, so nivritti, that means, like example, one should not drink liquor. So liquor is unwanted thing. So, and you are abstaining yourself from drinking. That means here action should not happen, because that is undesirable thing. That means which is to be avoided by abstaining from an act. That means nivritti. Nivritti should happen. Ceasing is also action or not? Ceasing yourself. Your friend is offering the liquor and you are ceasing yourself. Not to get that. So this is prohibition. So action should happen. Parihara means ceasing. Nivritti. Nivritti should happen. In the first case, in that another pravritti is there. That means, so one is doing act to get something which is desirable. This is the prayojana. Prayojana means getting something which is doing some action to get something which is desirable, or otherwise doing some action so to not to get the something which is not desirable. Your friend is pulling you to drink the liquor, but you are ceasing, you are restraining yourself not to go to there. So sitting idle is different, and trying to yourself to not to go is also action. So that is the prohibition. And this is the, so two different, this is the prayojanam. This kind of prayojanam should be there with the, when the sentence is uttered, this kind of prayojanam should be there in that sentence. But what is he saying next? Brahma kalu parinishpannam vastu. But if you come to the Brahman, Vedanta sutras, Vedanta vakyas, Vedanta statements, they're Brahman. So Satyam Gnanam Anantam Brahma. That statement is describing about the Brahman. Is describing about Brahman. and where Brahman is already eternally existing object. It is existing object, and some statement is coming and describing this Brahman. So from this, according to Jaimini, what kind of action is happening here? This statement is not invoking you to do some action to get that. And it is also not prohibiting you to not to get that. Nothing is happening. No action is happening here. Just the sentence is describing about Brahman. Finish. That's it. Brahma kalu parinishpannam vastu. Saying here, but Brahman is an object, is an existing object. Therefore, passages like Brahman is true, intelligence, and that means Satyam Gnanam Anantam Brahma. He took Satyam Gnanam Anantam Ityadi Taittiriya Upanishad 2:1:1 Vakyasya Tat Sunyatvat. That means Prayojana Sunyatvat. Tad Ayogyatvam. That means according to Jaimini, Satyam Gnanam Anantam Brahma is not having any Prayojanam. That means there is no any object in this. Are useless. Because they don't teach or aim at teaching any particular action. Because that sentence is not dictating any action. Either prohibitive or otherwise injunctive actions, it is not directing. That sentence is not teaching. So then why we have to consult it? So that's it. Such passages can only be relevant when they are employed in connection with other passages that direct something action. But here actually if you see in even Sanskrit, Vakyasya tat sunyatvat na tad yogyatvam. Na tad yogyatvam means how he went to even further level actually. He's really criticizing. Not Jaimini, but followers of Jaimini also can take, because Jaimini is a student of Vasudev. Jaimini is a devotee actually. So he just giving some karma mimamsa darshan. It doesn't mean that the Jaimini is also non-devotee. So you should not say anything to Jaimini. He's a devotee. You can see in Jaimini Mahabharata and Bruhat Bhagavatamrita and different places. Anyway, so according to Jaimini now and his followers, Satyam Gnanam Anantam Brahma is not having any prayojanam. Satyam Gnanam Anantam. Sorry. Anantam. Brahma. This statement is not having any prayojana. So it's not having any prayojana. So what we should say? It is. You cannot say this is a sentence. Ayogyatva means it should not be called as sentence also, because sentence means it should have prayojana. What kind of prayojana? Already I said. It should dictate some action. So to get the desirable object, or it should dictate some action. So to not to get the something which is not desirable. So that kind of prayojana it should have. So if something is not having that kind of prayojana, then it is not called as a vakya. अयोग्यत्वम, ये मनुष्य बनने के लिए योग्य नहीं, ऐसा ही ये वाक्य बनने के लिए योग्य नहीं. According to him, it is not a statement, it is not a sentence. According to him, and this sentence will become meaningful. This sentence means ये क्या आ रहा है? this sentence, Satyam Gnanam Anantam Brahma, is not a now sentence, Yogya, that means a worthful sentence. But what he is saying, Tad Bodhakasya, sorry, Vakyasya Tatsya, next, Yadi Kaschit Tam Prayayukshaha Bhave Tarhi Prayojana Vad Vakyika Vakyataya Tam Prayunjana Prayunjana Tasyapi Tadvattam Bruyat. So let us see the such passages can only be relevant. Relevant means here they will become an appropriate statement or sentence when they are employed in connection with other passages that direct something action. That means, according to him, this Satyam Gnanam Anantam Brahma independent, it is not a statement. It should be employed when they are employed in connection with the statements or sentences. That means which have the prayojan. Then this Satyam Gnanam Brahma, such as sentences also will become Yogya sentences. Thus, the description of a sacrifice or of example is so in the Karma Kanda also, if you see the Karma Kanda section, this is the Karma Kanda section. In this, let us take this Karma Kanda section is explaining about the Agnishtoma Yaga. Agnishtoma Yaga. So in this Agnishtoma Yaga, so what is happening? So it is first describing the glories of Agnishtoma Yaga. So that means Agnishtoma Yaga is so powerful and it is done by the so-and-so person. It is started by him and it having the, so this many. That means advantage, whatever, not advantage. This is the, so Agnishtoma description actually just. Then after that, sentence is coming, Sarga Kamo Yajeta. So then if you desire Swarga, heaven, then you should do the Agnishtoma Yaga. Then what happened? All these descriptive sentences are not having the any eligibility to be called as a sentence, but they are when they are accompanied or enjoined, when they are what we say that employed, when these all employed with the, so the statement Yajeta Sarga Kamaha. Yajeta Swarga Kamaha. Then what happened? Yajeta Swarga Kamaha, when you take this sentence, so in connection with this sentence, when you enjoin all these, when you employ all these statements along with this, then these are also becoming sentences. Independently, they are not. That's why any descriptive, just it is describing the yajna. So what is kind of pravruti, what kind of prayojan they are having? They are having nothing. There is no prayojan. Prayojan means it should, that sentence should command some action or direct some action to get the something desirable object. So that is not happening in this, by these sentences. So that's why they are not having the eligibility to be called as sentence. So when they are employed with this Yajat Sargama, which is directly so having a prayojanam, that means it is provoking you or is engaging you, is commanding you to do yajna, then these also become sentences. So that's why he is saying that Satyam Gnanam Anantam Brahma, independently it is not a sentence. Okay. कुछ इसको रिपीट करना है. Also, Jaimini is saying so many things further. एक मिनट थोड़ा सा पानी पी के 1 minute, I'll drink water. Break.
What is PM?
Huh?
What is PM here?
What is PM?
Yeah, it's saying in bracket, as Gemini says, Ashna Yasya Kriyarthatvanarthak Yamat
Where Mataji?
Thana. I'm reading ahead, Prabhuji. I just want to know what is PM in bracket.
Acha, you read it and tell me what is the next sentence. I'll come within 2 minutes. I'll drink water.
As the purport of a scripture is action, those scriptural passages whose purport is not action are purposeless. PM. The constituent words of a sentence are pronounced with a word which expresses action.
Hare Krishna Mataji, it means Purva Mimamsa.
Ah, okay. Geminis. Okay, thank you. So it means that the Geminis followers have twisted all the, like, I don't know, teachings.
We don't call it as twisted. They have extracted the meaning in that way. Because when we say it's twisted, means it's actually challenged. So when we say that the way how they perceive the Vedic scriptures, which is directing them to think of Karma Mimamsa or Purva Mimamsa, that's the way how they view it.
I mean, అలాగా అంటే క్రేజీ
ఆయన ఏసీ
క్రేజీ లేదు కదా అందుకని
వెళ్తారంట.
వెళ్తాడా చెప్పలాగా లేదు
I got it,
మంచి
Prabhuji.
వాటర్ Mataji, you got something?
Yeah, Prabhuji, Ramakrishna Prabhuji just informed PM means Purva Mimamsa.
Yes. Tell me what you understood.
It's the same thing which you've been describing all this while, that any passage or any vakya which does not have any, is descriptive, it's useless, it has no action. But when basically when you attach that vakya to a particular vakya which has action, then it becomes useful.
Okay, we'll finish the Purva Pakshi today. Another 2 more lines are there. What is next? Tasmat Kratu Devata Kartru Pratipadanena Tadvan Tadvakya Ganaha Tad Yogyam Bhavati Iti Aha Chaivam Gemini. Therefore, thus, the description of a sacrifice or a particular deity of a sacrificer becomes relevant in as much as these passages are connected with the act of sacrifice. So what is the sutra? Gemini, he made a sutra. Amna yasya kriyardatvat anarthakyam atadarthanam. That means as the purport of a scripture is action, those scriptural passages whose purport is not action are purportless. Purvamimamsa 1.2. One actually Purvamimamsa Sutras. This is a Purvamimamsa Sutra. Like Vyasdev wrote the sutras, Jaimini also wrote the sutras. Okay. That means what is said, as a purport of a scripture is action. There is some statements are there in a scripture. If their purport is an action, those scriptural passages whose purport is not action are purportless. That means any passage is not having the action, is not directing any action, then they are atadarthana, means they don't have any meaning actually. That sentence is not is meaningless sentence. Then what you have to do, you have to connect those with those sentences which directing some action. That is the meaning of this sutra. Tadbhutanam kriyartatvena samnaye arthasya tannimittatvad. Again, the constituents or words of a sentence are pronounced so the constituents words of a sentence are pronounced with the word which express action. So that's what you have to do. So whatever those passages which are not directing some action, then you should enjoin those with those statements which direct or which directing some action. This sutra is saying that. First sutra is saying that they are meaningless. Second sutra is saying that you should enjoin those meaningless sentences with the meaningful sentences. Whatever we said, so we are backing up. That means Purvapakshi backing up with the sutras of the Jaimini. Now a refutation is needed. Okay. Refutation we'll see later. You can refute yourself. And you come with the refutation. Tell me in the next week. I will ask. You can read and understand and tell. But is it clear what the message is given by the Purvapakshi? Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, fine. I'm happy.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, this was quite interesting because it was like connecting the Sanskrit line and immediately reading the English translation and trying to explain the relationship of the viewpoint of Jaimini, how he was actually, I would say this is a constructive criticism in the sense that he was trying to put forward how should the sentence be constituted and what should be its purpose. And so descriptive statements, if it is not indicating a purpose or an action to attain the goal, then though on the prima facie it can be rejected, but it has its relevance when it is connected to something else which is indicating the action. So in that perspective, this has to be seen. And that's how, since he is also a sutra maker in terms of like Purvamimamsa, so he is putting forward his own sutras to explain how he is substantiating it. So to me, it was a very encouraging part of the discussion of understanding how Purvapakshis can also present their statements in a very effective manner.
Yeah, so this is there in the, we are seeing these things in a very scriptural way. But if you come to the day-to-day life also, we can see the people like this. Like Jaimini followers are there, many actually. Whoever is coming to devotion, what you are going to do? You are just, you want to eat freely. That's why you are joining the this Mat Mandir. So you should work hard. You do your work and you earn money, and that is reality. That is, then you enjoy that. That is real happiness. You are just becoming a beggar. On the name of devotion, you are not using your skills, your talent, and your abilities. Just you are so trying to know something, knowing. No action. There is no action at all. So it's simply a waste of the time. That means like someone, you can see sadhakas are many types. Like example, sitting in that, taking the mala and just chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. What is this? What is the action here? According to them, this is not also action. Just I'm not giving exact meaning, but at least some perception I'm giving in day-to-day life. But they are just like the same setups they have. A mental setup is like that only. So something which is giving immediately some result. That means some favorable result. So by doing some action, some result is coming. Then they believe in that kind of actions and that kind of statements, and they follow that. And so just you are trying to know about the Krishna and hearing the Krishna's past tense. Oh, Krishna is beautiful, Krishna is like this, like that. What is there? People say, what is the use? So just hearing some 5,000 years back he was there, and now you are hearing, what is going to happen? Do something, do. So they say this actually. Now we are going to defeat them. Okay. So not now.
Prabhuji, just one question, sorry.
Oh.
Prabhuji, you're saying like Gemini is Srila Vyasadeva, the devotee, he's Srila Vyasadeva's
Yeah.
disciple. So the concept that Ishvara is like Devata, Lord Krishna or something, is it their followers' understanding, propagation?
Yeah. So Jaimini is just because in the society different kinds of people are there. So you have to that means various acharyas are giving instructions to various kinds of people. Jaimini is especially focusing the lazy fellows. So he is making at least active. Whoever is not following the Vedas and whoever is not properly so following their karma prescribed duties, he is awakening them and he is instructing. It doesn't mean that he doesn't know the Brahman, but he may teach you only to that. If I am teaching the first class students but I did PhD, it doesn't mean that I know only whatever I teach. You're understanding? Just I'm teaching first class, and it's that means it first class or second LKG I'm teaching. So one should not underestimate that he knows only that much. LKG syllabus only he knows.
So like being an Uttama Adhikari, he comes down to the Madhyama level and then tries to teach to make people appreciative of what is this science.
Okay. Yes, Ramchandra Babu.
So Prabhu, like so according to this, my understanding, what I'm trying to understand is like they are saying to do action to achieve Swarga.
Your voice is a little low.
Hear me now, Prabhu? So they are saying like Yajita Sarv Kama, like this a person who want to achieve Swarga, you have to do like yajna. So specifically, like we see, like in order to get liberation, like some action should be done. Like do the karma Vimansa, they do not like they do not know about the liberation, or they don't want to do it, or they're only interested in just karma to get Swarga only.
We take the same example. If we are teaching to a LKG student about the only alphabets, so what it mean actually? What it mean? That means, and we are saying that this is only the syllabus for you, and that much only. That means now we are giving the basic knowledge, but ultimately he should go to the next level. So Jaimini is prescribing karma, and he is making people, that means who are lazy, inactive, making them as active by prescribing the karma. And what is the intention of the doing the karma? So if you properly analyze the same Vedas, so karma should be done to offer to the Lord, not to enjoy yourself. So that is next statement is coming, and it is directing one to enjoy the results of the karma to the offering that to the Lord and getting the higher results. So in the next level, there is next class level instruction, next level of instructions are given by the next Acharya.
Okay, Prabhu.
You are not stopping with one teacher, no?
Sure, Prabhu. Got it.
So Prabhu, this is providing another angle of understanding, because it took some time for me to actually sink through this teaching of Brahma Sutras at the moment, wherein different kinds of Purvapakshis who are presenting their arguments. Like, for example, Jaimini has the understanding who is the Supreme Lord in his perfect realization, but yet he is presenting the same statement of what Vyasadeva is presenting for a person who is karma jada. So how does he make him induce into preparing something to at least act? So for that purpose, he says these type of statements. So this means the Brahma Sutra is read by people who are looking for some results through karma or through jnana or through yoga. So anyone who approaches Brahma Sutra, because it is the essence of all the Vedic literature in a condensed form, so they are presented in a very scientific manner to look at the statements of the Upanishads in these perspectives, and thereby they derive the benefit of it. Is that how we should understand these Purvapakshis are helping us? No.
So बहुत ज़्यादा derive किया आप. That means you went to big conclusion actually. Here we should understand this much only. Jaimini is not at all, you may not consider Jaimini himself is putting this objection. Maybe they follow improperly, that means or otherwise insufficiently, whoever understood the philosophy of the Jaimini, they may know Jaimini as only the ultimate, and but Jaimini knows that whatever I give is not the ultimate, and I know that means my guru, so Vasudev, whatever he gave, that is ultimate. But he wrote the syllabus for only the neophytes. So then neophytes may put this kind of arguments. So your sutra is not correct. That means it's not necessary that Jaimini himself, because we should not, according to the Vishwanath Thakur, we already read in our Madhuri Kadambini. So we should not see the defects in the devotees actually. Even the like Jada Bharat Maharaj, so he got attraction for the deer also there. So clearly it is indicated. We should not see that means he had the offenses, and so that's why he followed on. So similarly, I am trying to avoid seeing some fault in the Jaimini. Just so Jaimini philosophy we know, and it may not be the Jaimini can speak like this, and his followers can speak actually.
So this means the presentation of these Purvapakshi statements belong to the school of thought of Jaimini. It's not necessarily Jaimini, but it's a school of thought. Okay, now I could understand
it. Okay, we'll meet in next Saturday and Sunday.
Thank you, Prabhu. It's today's class was really very tasteful, and it served various aspects of it. So I really
I came with zero hope actually. I don't know when the class will be proper. Sometimes we came with I have a lot of fear. So how to present and how to induce these new things to the students, and I just feel that means such a inconvenience actually. kaisa samjha paun, how I can make them to understand. And luckily, by the mercy of the Lord, sometimes they get, and sometimes I come with full confidence and zero. I see the blank faces at the end of the class. So
Prove
So we-
one point I understood today is like the other philosophies or other things generally which says that like you should do this, you should not do this. Their things is only limited to those things. Then now I understand that they are basically only interested in action because their commandments are there. You should do this, you
yes,
shouldn't do it. So their level is only basic understanding because they cannot really
yeah,
sit and learn about the higher truth. So they are action oriented people, and there are many
yes,
people even in like they say work is worship. And they call them
yeah,
as a karma yogi. They say my job is just to do the work. So
yes, yes.
like I now understand like how they are basically from where they are this kind of ideas coming the society.
Yeah. These are all, everything is coming from Vedas only. That means the Ajnana and Gnana both are there eternally. The ignorance is also there eternally. So that's why nothing is new in this society. Everything is repeated, and based upon time, something is becoming more prevalent, and sometimes the something is hidden. That's all. But if you analyze and if you see the scriptures like Mahabharata and the Bhagavatam and other our Puranas, all nonsense philosophy also you can see. That means cheating, various kinds of way, dressing like a sadhu and cheating, all different. Pashandis, everything are believing this kind of, so materialism, everything is there in the scriptures. Everything is discussed in the Vedas.
So today I could actually, I mean, some kind of a realization dawned in my head that why you are always nailing this point that Srimad Bhagavatam can be understood only when you properly understand Vedanta Sutras, then the Brahma Sutras, and related to the Sandarbhas. Today it dawned into me that when a particular statement from Vyasadeva or the devotees are being spoken, in what light it has to be seen, and how different levels of people actually approach it in what way, and how as a preachers we can convey it when we have a complete picture of the society. Thank you so much, Prabhu. This is very appreciative.
Thank you, Prabhu. Okay, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyo cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari.